The NBA thrives on drama, but the story swirling around Kawhi Leonard, the Clippers, and a $28 million deal through Aspiration feels murkier than a clean-cut scandal. Pablo Torre reported that Steve Ballmer funneled money to Leonard via the sponsor, but the details raise more doubts than certainties. The comparison to the Joe Smith saga with Minnesota decades ago doesn't quite hold. Back then, the Wolves signed Smith below market with promises of hidden riches later, a clear circumvention to land a player they otherwise couldn't. The Clippers, however, were simply re-signing their own star for the maximum allowed, more than anyone else could offer. Leonard's 2021 deal was a 4-year, $176 million extension with all the financial advantages built in. He had every reason to stay, especially as he recovered from yet another major injury. Unlike Smith, Leonard didn't take a discount. In fact, critics often argue he's been overpaid for how little he's been on the court. So why would Ballmer need to sweeten the pot? The Aspiration contract is bizarre, yes, a massive payday for essentially no work, voided if Leonard left the Clippers. That clause looks suspicious, but endorsement deals tied to location aren't unheard of. If Aspiration wanted credibility in Los Angeles, attaching themselves to the city's biggest basketball star made sense. The wrinkle is that Aspiration was already a fraudulent enterprise. Founder Joseph Sandberg has pled guilty to wire fraud, accused of defrauding victims out of hundreds of millions. It's entirely plausible that Leonard's no-show deal was just another attempt to prop up legitimacy rather than a calculated Clippers scheme. If Ballmer truly wanted to sneak money to Leonard, choosing a company plastered across the Clippers' jerseys would have been an absurd way to do it. The paper trail is glaring. Former Aspiration employees pointing to cap circumvention might have their own reasons to shift blame outward. Ballmer, for all his wealth and eccentricity, didn't even bend to keep Paul George last summer under the new, harsher CBA penalties. Why would he risk everything on Leonard back in 2021, when the Clippers were already offering more than anyone else? Adam Silver will investigate, as he must. If evidence shows a real violation, punishment will follow. But right now, the simplest explanation may be the right one: Leonard saw free money, signed, and a fraudulent company used him as window dressing in a doomed scheme.